Hello, cannedcream here, CC for short, and today I would like to talk to you about Comic Book Canon, Season 5, and Vinyl Scratch.
Number 3, my lord. Oh, okay. Number 3.
Or, to be exact, 3 topics that I would like to discuss, but don't really have enough to say to constitute 3 separate videos. So today we're going to combine all 3 together in a segment called Creamy Quickies. And I just heard how that sounded out loud. Jeez.
Where exactly did you get that comic book?
Well, moving swiftly along, if you're a follower of Equestria Daily, you may have seen a post regarding the MLP comic series. IDW's editor, Bobby Curnow, seemed to put the question of whether or not the comic should count as canon to rest, stating, "The answer is the same as it's always been. We in the comics try and keep as close to current with the show as possible, and do our best not to break anything established in the show. However, the show is under zero obligation to do the same with the comics." He goes on to say, "What we do in the comics has no bearing on the show." So, in essence, the answer is what many followers of both the cartoon show as well as the comic series have already suspected. The show canon comes first, each and every time, and what happens in the comics in no way reflects upon the actual show. So what does this mean for the argument, "it happened like this in the comics"? Well, personally, I'd say it's not really a valid defense anymore. If we have the word set in stone that nothing the comics do or say are, well, set in stone until the moment the show says so, there's not much more to it. And I understand that yes, this does weaken some of my own arguments that I myself have made in the past, but it is what it is. However, this doesn't mean that there's no point in looking to the comics at all. As a source for ideas, new headcanons, or even just a bit of very light fact-checking, the Friendship Forever series is still a great tool for anyone looking to build or expand upon any theory or headcanon. This is on top of course, just being very entertaining. So to anyone and everyone who loves to create their own stories and ideas involving the MLP world, the comics still serve a very valid purpose. But I say it would be prudent to either double check the series itself to make sure there are no contradictions to whatever ideas you wish to discuss, or at least be very flexible enough to change your headcanons as necessary.
Spoilers.
Before I start, I understand that some people don't want any spoilers, and while I don't plan on going really heavy into them, I'm still going to put an annotation here to skip ahead to the next topic for those of you who don't want to see anything at all. For the rest of you still here, I'm going to assume you've seen the trailers for Season 5, and have probably heard others talk about them. Personally, I'm not going to recap them as there's not much I can likely say that you haven't already thought of yourself or have heard someone else talk about. But I would like to focus on one thing, and that's how, so far, everything is suggesting that we may be getting that big world-trotting story arc we were all expecting last season. Now, I could be wrong, and we might just get a bunch more adventures set in Ponyville with only the occasional trip somewhere else, a la Season 4, but with so much hype being put on this map and Twilight's role of spreading friendship across Equestria, I really want to believe we're finally going to get that world-building season so many of us were expecting to have happen in Search of the Keys of Harmony. In fact, it could very well be the reason we're getting this bigger, larger adventure is because of what happened in Season 4. Expectations were high, and it really does seem like the crew of MLP listens to their fanbase. Doesn't mean they always agree or follow through with what they hear, which personally I feel like is a good thing. They deserve their own creative freedom after all. But if they heard a large swatch of the fans saying they want a season that takes them far outside of Ponyville or Canterlot, it seems likely they could have taken that to heart. Depending upon how Season 5 goes, there might be a nice topic here after the finale airs talking about how the fans help shape MLP. We'll see. Finally, I would like to talk about everyone's favorite resident DJ, Vinyl Scratch, and this headcanon I have about her and Pinkie Pie being friends. And not in the way that Pinkie Pie is friends with everyone, but legitimately close friends. The reason this idea came to me is because nearly every time we see Vinyl scratch, she's doing something in relation to Pinkie. In Suited for Success, she's DJing Rarity's fashion show, which Pinkie is a part of, and it's a similar case for the Royal Wedding, with Vinyl providing the music for an event Pinkie is a part of, with Pinkie going as far as to actually pull her up from behind the booth. She was also present during Pinkie's Wonderbolt rap, and one of the ponies in the crowd during the Magical Mystery Cure episode, when Fluttershy had taken over Pinkie Pie's place as a party pony. I understand that my evidence is circumstantial at best, and it just relies on the fact that these two characters happen to be in the same place at the same time, and actually, in one case, it's her being in a place Pinkie Pie would be. But you have to admit, 4 separate examples, all with similar results, is more than enough fuel to ignite the eternal flame which is the headcanon. Besides, those two would probably get along great. Vinyl's fan-made personality and Pinkie's actual one would play well off each other. If anything, this is a call for these two to get more fan works together. As much fun as Vinyl and Octi are together, we really need more stuff centered around these two party ponies. And there you have it. The first episode of the first episode of a series I clearly need a better name for. So, dear listener, what do you think about any of the topics touched upon here today? How do you feel about Bobby's statement about the IDW comics? Do you want Season 5 to take place all over Equestria? Are Pinkie and Vinyl really close friends? Whatever your thoughts, please post them down in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and as always,
Stay pony, my friends.